Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's Super Saturday, the show where we look at all things super and awesome. And today we have something that I'm hoping, fingers crossed, will be just as super and awesome as these trailers have made it seem.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
T-5.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock. The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi!
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together. As a family.
Well, here we are about a week out from the Fantastic Four release, and I am chomping at the bit. I'm trying not to get swept up in the hype. I'm trying not to go into this with rose-tinted goggles, but here I am regardless. The first and foremost thing I find very compelling and very exciting is that the creatives behind this made the very welcome decision of diving into and embracing the retro futurism of the script and of the team themselves. Fantastic Four are Marvel's first family. They are the flagship. And in fact, that's worth a mosey down memory lane for just a sec. The series debuted all the way back in 1961, so yes, it's actually older than me, which is something that's become an issue as time goes by. Anyway, though, this was the dawn of the Silver Age of comics, running from the 60s all the way up until the Bronze Age. The Justice League of America or Justice Society of America, whatever iteration you prefer, was all the rage at the time. Into this comes a struggling writer and editor named Stan Lee. All this man wanted to do was comics. That was his passion. But he'd been struggling for so long, and with nearly no success, he was ready to be done with it all, give up on his dream. Lee's publisher, Martin Goodman, was a bit of a trend follower and was aware of the Justice League success. So he goes to Lee and he says, hey, try one more thing. Try something like this. Lee decides, give it one more go. Collaborating with his artist, the legendary Jack Kirby, they come up with a family-oriented adventure, The Fantastic Four. And it's a success. Big success. So Marvel's first family will always hold a very special place with the company because it was the Hail Mary that actually paid off, saved Marvel, saved Lee doing comics. It's further special in that it was born of a very family-centric theme and growing out of the sentiment and backdrop of the 60s, which is one of the most fun times to set a story in as far as I'm concerned. Now, previous iterations of the Fantastic Four have tried hard to modernize and update the team and the story therein with varying degrees of success. Varying degrees of subjective success. For instance, I still love and adore the hokey 2005 iteration. It just worked for me. You'll never hear me say it was one of the greatest movies ever made, but it was a movie that entertained me and still entertains me today and endeared itself to me. Love the cast, love the cheesiness, stories were great, and we lost Julian McMahon far too soon, but I seem to be saying that more and more as time goes on. Anyway, that being said, I really didn't care for the 2015 version. It was way too edgy and gritty, not enough family dynamic, certainly not the hopeful Imaginata I've come to know and love. Yes, that was a shout out to Wade and Waringo's Fantastic Four Collected Edition, which I highly recommend to anyone with even a passing interest in the FF. It's a really sweet book, very endearing. I won't dive into that here as I'll more than likely review it at some point, and this video is about first steps. I was not initially excited about the announcement way back when all we had was the cast list. I took a look at Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards, and that was a bit of a strong departure for me. I mean, I love Pedro Pascal, Mandalorian, etc. But I was like, Reed Richards? Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. I mean, FF ain't a British drama, so I scratched my head at that. Eben Moss Backrack, who I only knew as a sleazeball double-crosser in Andor, which he did an amazing job at, but I tried imagining that guy as Ben Grimm and went, eh. And Joseph Quinn, Eddie Munson from Stranger Things as Johnny Storm. No. So I wasn't on board. And then the first trailer hit. I was tentatively stunned and excited. I tried to rein in that enthusiasm, tried to put my old man goggles on and make sure I don't get my hopes up too high. Yet there it was, every actor doing a perfectly fine portrayal of each member of the FF. Absolutely no complaints. So I was like, well, maybe. Then we got more footage and more footage. The fantastic car with those beautiful, sleek lines American automobiles have tragically strayed from. Period set pieces that are flawless in their presentation, presenting the FF as a celebrity family, one of the core themes in Wade and Waringo's work, and the whole deal about eating dinner every Sunday, keeping that family unit dynamic alive. All of this presented in such a way that this TV program could easily have stepped right out of the 60s, some alternate dimension 60s where time sort of stood still. Yes, if you're wondering, I would totally grab the wife, the cat, and a handful of possessions and jump through that portal, if there was such a portal to this retro futuristic 60s time bubble. 80s will always be my favorite, but you wouldn't have to twist my arm to get me to live in the 60s. I saw Galactus, this towering figure looming over the city just like the comics, presented on such a scale that the eye can still see how immense he is, but also not so big that we lose track of his presence. Perfectly presented. Gender swapping the Silver Surfer initially had me a little caught up, but I got over that pretty quick, especially since they modulated her voice. Like I said in a previous video, the actress does not have a commanding voice, a voice that you'd imagine a heralding Galactus, but you add in that modulation and it just soars. It's great. Bravo on that decision. But what really got me, and this is just plain stupid, but I stand by it, was watching Reed figure out equations on those blackboards. Chalk and blackboard, instantly transporting me back to childhood. And then to see that he has multiple boards that raise and lower to let him work on long form equations. Taking an icon of the past and marrying it with this retro futuristic idea of having boards raising and lowering. It's stupid, it's silly, but I loved it from the first time I saw it, and it clinched me on this movie. So here we are, not even a week out from the release, and I am just jumping. I cannot wait to make that drive over to Parkersburg and lay down some bucks and watch this thing in the big theater. Heck, the missus is coming too, and she is not a moviegoer like I am. So I know it's not just me all excited for this. But I wanted to make one more video as I did for, the Gunn Superman movie before I go and see it. State my expectations and see how things turn out once we've seen it. The Wikipedia page states the story is taken straight from the Lee Kirby beginnings, and if that's the case, I am absolutely down for that story. I would love to see that. I'm excited for the family dynamic, very excited to see this retro futuristic world, excited to see Galactus and just about everybody in the cast, really. Very excited for this movie. We'll see if it lives up to the hype or not. Please let it live up to the hype. Anywho, that's all I got for right now. Just a little video before we go and watch it. Thank you all for tuning in, giving me a moment of your time. This is Super Saturday, so get out there, watch those old cartoons, put in a good movie, read a comic, roll some dice, do something awesome, drink your water, and as always, have a good one.